Well, hello there. Today is going to be part 2 of the Building a Model Railway video series thing that I'm doing. Today is going to be Trackwork. Well, this video anyway is going to be Trackwork, wiring and testing all in one. Minus point motors. I don't have any point motors yet, so they'll be their own separate entity, separate video. But today anyway, I'll be doing the Trackwork. If I've got time, I'll do the wiring, but I'll put it all into one video anyway for you guys. And yes, I am in fact wearing a fez. I found it at the British Art Foundation today for it was 99p, I think. So I thought I'm gonna have that because I don't have it on me, but I have got a sonic screwdriver as well to match it. So yeah, it's about 9,500 degrees in here, so I won't be wearing this. Somebody left the nighttime heating on, so it's like a sauna in here. But yeah, I'll set the camera up and talk you through what I'm going to be doing today. Okay, so here we are, back over at the layout. As you can see, I've sort of loosely just plonked the track on top of the baseboard, roughly where it's going to go, so I can check that it all fits properly. As you can see, I've had to slightly change the point work plan, so I had to buy this point today, which I've got in my bag there. And you've got the fiddle-yard expanse over here. I'm just trying to work out the spacing. So as you can see from these two coaches here, it is bloody sharp. And I'm not too sure that the engines of mine will go round it, because these curve points are the set track variety. The radii on the outside is second radius, but the one in the other one is first radius. So that's going to be tight. So that means that tender engines will have to come along on the outsides, which is going to make it interesting, to say the least. Because both of the second radius curves are on the outside. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to work my way around that, but I will somehow work it out. And as you can see from the pile of FlexiTrack, second-hand FlexiTrack, which I got for a steal, so you can see there's bits of the previous owner's baseboard stuck to the bottom of it still, but that's not a problem. Second-hand track does very well. The other layout of mine that in fact most of my layouts have been built with second-hand track, which is handy really, because it saves costs, and it works just as well as the new stuff. It's just a bit dirty, that's all. So I did sort it all out. You see I've got a piece up here. Don't know if you can see, just there, if I hold it up to the curtain, you can see that some of the sleepers have come away from the rail. If I get that down into the light over here, sorry, you see it better. You can see there, the sleepers have come away from the rail slightly. So this bit will be going over the back somewhere. Oops, somewhere in the middle there, with obviously a piece connecting that to that. But today, for the moment anyway, for the purposes of the video, I'll be concentrating on the front bit of the layout, because I know exactly where everything's going. It covers fixing the set track curves, preparing point work, and a little bit of FlexiTrack work here, and a little bit of FlexiTrack work here. So the back of it will be exactly the same as the front, holding the track in place, pinning it, testing it, cutting the rails. Bob's your uncle, you've got a layout. It shouldn't take me very long, but it is quite warm in here, so I might have to stop and make a couple of drinks every so often, and obviously stop the recording. But yeah, we should be good to go. So I'll talk you through the point work. Obviously you've got the points into the fiddle yard, 4 roads, 2 in each direction, which will, if I've got space, be split in half so I can have at least 8 trains, but I'll need one road to be clear, so there will be sort of 3 tracks with trains stored, and those 3 will be split in half, so I'll have 6 roads for storage and 1 for just continuous running around, in theory. And I'll talk you through that later on. So as you leave the fiddle yard on whichever track, we'll use the second one from the wall. You come round, across the point. Let's move these out of the way a bit. They've derailed because the track's not fixed. But they come out on this one, across that point there, and across that point there, and then out into the scenic area. You can see this line here. That is where the back scene is going to be. So this section from that line to the wall will be as it is, baseboard, but from this line out will be fully scenic, with grass and hills and trees and people and animals and cars and whatever else. So we leave the tunnel, we come round to this first point here. This won't be used, this is not going to be motorised, I don't think. But you've got a little... The idea is that the Preservation Society is connected to the main line, and this little siding here is where Network Rail will occasionally dump a coach or some wagons or a locomotive or something, if they don't have any space at the depot. So that's what that's for, and it's also a nice little place for photographing the locos as well, so I can stick an engine on it and take some pictures of it and make it look nice and pretty. And then clearly the main line curves off round on 3rd radius curves. I wanted 4th radius, but 4th radius wouldn't fit, as you can see from the pencil marks that I drew. It wouldn't fit. So 3rd radius curves fit nicely, and you straight on takes you through the station avoiding line, and obviously turning left across the kickbacks takes you into the very short platform loop, which can fit 2 coaches and a tender engine, which is fine. But the branch line will be run in this direction, so the branch line trains would leave the fiddle yard over the back and come round past the church and then turn left and go into the station loop, and then if it's needed, the engine will be uncoupled and will run forward into a very small engine storage, because it won't be a shed, because I don't have room for a shed. Obviously, because of the severity of the curves, if I were to put an engine all the way down the end of this siding, it would clout the passing trains on the main line. So I'm going to have to cut them sort of about there-ish, this one, and then cut that there. And I'm not going to panic about section switches. I'm not going to bother with that, because you wouldn't be able to fit very many engines in here in the first place. Tender engines will probably go on that one, and tank engines will go in this one, and that's about it. But what I will do though is on this one here, again, I'm not doing the wiring today, so I don't need to panic about it just yet, but what I will do is put a plastic row joiner there, drill some holes, so if I want it switched, I can wire a switch to it, and if I don't want it switched, I can just connect it up with a piece of wire. And obviously this flexi-track section here is going to need to be cut with the Xeron track cutters, which I'll go through in a minute. Sort of roughly in the same place as that one, maybe a bit further back, maybe a bit further forward, but sort of there-ish or something. So I can have 1, 2, at least 3 engines in storage, because of course you need a space at the back there, at the front rather, to get that one out. So the engine that's in this bit will run out, go forward and sit there, then that one can come out and couple up, and then run off around the layout, hide in storage, and then points be changed, section switches be made, switched, sorry, so the branch line can continue running while the other engine comes out and goes forward, back in, and this one can come out and go back in there, because I'm not sure which way around I want it yet. Probably this one is going to be a separate fueling point, because of course, if I move the coach and the controller out of the way, quite obviously, really, you've got access to this side for the coal to be brought in by a road or whatever, so that the engines can have, obviously, their coal. That's about as far as I've got with the planning, really. So what I now need to do is sort the points out, because of course these three here, as you can see, they are initial frog points, as is that one, as are all of these, just because I can't be bothered with the wiring necessary for it, but because the shop I bought them from, rather I got them from, sorry, because it was birthday presents. All of the track here was birthday presents, which is brilliant, and I'm very, very grateful to my stepfamily for getting it for me. If I move this piece of track out of the way, this one is an electrofrog point, which changes the electrical side of it and makes things a bit more complicated. So this point here, that will be going up here, so it doesn't interfere. Hopefully, I don't know yet. I might leave it there. As you can see, I fitted insulating rail joiners to it already. So as it is, like that, it will run as an ordinary insular frog point without causing any problems. So I'll probably just leave it where it is. I don't know yet. But yes, I've been rambling too much. So what I'm going to do is put the camera back on the tripod over there. Take the camera off and have a bit of a fiddle around, and then when I'm happy, I'll start connecting things together, drilling holes for point motors, which I always do. Even if I'm not sure if I want point motors, I always drill the holes, so I can fit the motors if and when I get round to buying them. I can fit them in, and the layout is already prepared. All I've got to do is just stick them on, wire it up, sorted. That's the point control system there. I'll have another one more or less identical next to it, which plugs in here. Not my design. This system is made by a lovely chap called Tom Hussey. I nearly said Thomas Dibden then, I'm very sorry, getting my Thomas mixed up. This is the bit that he sells, all of that, including the little cable. Basically, this goes to your power supply for the switches, which obviously runs up and goes in and is connected to the middle pin of all the switches. The screw terminals here, they go to your point motors, one side of each solenoid, and then that other plug there goes into the other, goes into another one of these, because if I can do it with one hand, there. Each unit looks like this, with the socket in the end and the plug on the other end, and that's what you get in a bag like that. That's what you get. It's already wired. All you need to do is connect your point motors to the terminals. Obviously you've got a pair of chocolate blocks for each of the switches, which can get a little bit confusing sometimes, because my eyesight isn't very good at close-up. And then connect the end of this to your power supply or your capacitor discharge unit, and away you go. Sorted. I'll link to his website in the description. He's Tom Hussey of Platform 3 Models. Link in the description, and the little thing, this whole bit here that you can see, the point module, the point switch module thing, and the cable is, I think, now £17. It used to be £10, but he's redone the design and modified it a bit, and it's now £17. But I think for what you get, that's a bloody good price, because the only soldering you need to do is on the point motors, which is easy compared to the switches. I won't bother showing you that yet. I'll show you that when I get round to wiring the point motors up. So this is going over here, out the way, so it can't get broken. And now I'm going to go off camera and have a bit of a fiddle. So I shall see you in a bit. And take two. For some reason the camera's not actually giving me the how many hours you've been recording on the screen, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. Right, so I am just sort of preparing all of this point work. I've got my jar of track pins. There they are. They are... I've thrown the pots away. I think they are SL... Hang on a minute. They're all Pico, by the way. Right, my mistake. The track pins that I use, these ones that I've got rather, these ones are Pico from the Streamline range. You get hundreds of them. I always, when I do track work, I always get 2 bags. They are product code SL14. I always use Pico products. Everything on this layout is Pico. I don't even think there's the odd bit of Hornby. I don't like Hornby. I don't touch them with a barge pole. Then I've got my rail joiners. The metal ones are, again, they are Pico. They are SL10. I forget what the plastic rail joiners are called. It appears that I've got one black Hornby one, so whatever, won't want that. But the ones that Pico do I prefer because they are semi-translucent, which is nice, which means that obviously when they're on the track and it's ballasted and it's weathered, they're not as visible as the large black ones are that Hornby make, which I like that. And the metal rail joiners by Pico are also a little bit more, they're a little bit smaller, they're finer profile is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just putting the rail joiners onto the points, like so. They need a little bit of persuasion, which is why I push them on onto the baseboard, and they push on until they stop. So I need to do this on all of the points apart from this one. This one's got them all on, I think. So pop, there we go. I don't know how much of this you can see. I've got the camera set up in a rather awkward place, but I don't need to show you because I'm sure you all know how to connect track up, and if you don't, then why are you here? This isn't... I must clarify, because I did have a couple of emails about my first video saying, oh, it wasn't much of a tutorial, it was just you running around doing your baseboard. This isn't a tutorial series by any means. This is literally just showing you me building my model railway. That's literally all it is. So I apologise if I didn't make that very clear in the last model railway video that I did. If you want advice on things model railway wise, then let me know. Do ask. Don't hesitate to ask questions. I'll try and clear them up. Clear up any questions as I can. I haven't had any before I filmed this one. So, whoopsie dude, there we go. So, if I disconnect this from the main line and disconnect that, there we go. So, oh wait a minute, what am I doing? Like that. Silly goit. There we go. There we have our kickback. Nice and easy. Just a right hand point and a right hand point. Sorted. Now, this is where it might get a little bit difficult because I'll have to chop off some of the profiles on the sleepers. So I'm going to do it on this point. I'm just going to nip just like that. Little tiny bit off with my track cutters, and then that will fit in there nicely. Now this point that I'm connecting up now is second hand. This is one I bought from Tom in the Anything Narrow Gauge shop. Now, as you can see, with the point in the position it is now, it won't throw across properly. Well, it did, but there is a very small gap because it's difficult to show you. You can see there it's not going across properly because the sleepers on the other point are in the way slightly. So what I'm going to do is actually chop the little nipple thing just like that. You can't actually see it because the camera's in the wrong place, but whatever. There we go, chopped off, and it goes across. So that's probably the only bit of tutorial that I'm ever going to give you, because I'm a miserable sod. No, because that's just what I choose to do. So there they are. They're looking pretty damn level. That's not bad. Now the point that I have just bought, which is this one here, was pre-owned, so it's been pre-weathered, which is nice. So it's got rusty rails and things, which is I don't mind that. It's got the odd bit of ballast stuck to it still, but again, I don't care, because it's all going to be weathered later on and ballasted later on, so I don't much care about that. So, let's take these wagons off over here. Sorry, put that there, and just dismantle the bit of main line that I had ready put together. Now, just going to quickly point something out. This is a full-length Pico Code 100 third radius curve. The product code is ST231, and here is another one that I've had to modify for it to fit. As you can see, I had to chop it off for it to fit, because the points that I'm using are the streamline variety. They are a slightly different radius to the set track variety of points. It just means that there's going to be less derailments with my tender engines, that's all. It's personal preference. If you want to use the set track points, then you go ahead and use the set track points. It doesn't matter, it's just personal preference. So, that is I guess the station junction work, more or less, done. And I'm not going to fiddle with it anymore. I'm going to very simply just lay it like I had it. Connect up, I'll grab the camera now, connect up the main line round the corner here, get that nice and straight and get that fixed properly, see where it all relates to each other, and then I'll take the points up, drill the holes for the point motor, for the bars to cut the rods to go through, and then get on with the rest of the track work. So again, this isn't a tutorial. I'm going to set the camera up on its tripod, and then I'm going to get on with it. So, as you saw there, we can now get a coach to go all the way around. Perfectly fine. I mean, the curtain there is a bit close, so I'll have to figure something out for that. But yeah, the coach goes round fine. So the next thing I'm going to do is the wiring. Going to do a very easy job of it first. Obviously, to feed this siding here, I'm going to need to power in between these 2 points. Decided I am going to have this one motored at some point, so I've drilled the holes for it there. All the other points have also got their holes drilled, which you saw me doing. I had to, as you saw in the fast forward clip, I had to fiddle and jiggle and make the holes a bit wider and a bit narrower in places to make it all fit properly. But I'm gonna cut the camera again. Sorry. Get all the things I need ready for soldering, and show you how I do that. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, here I am back again. I've forgotten to plug the camera in again. Sorry, the battery's a little bit unreliable on this, so sorry. There we go. So, obviously, the first thing you're going to need for this is a drill. I don't know what size drill bit it is. It's whatever happens to fit the cable that I've got, which in this instance is this. I think it's doorbell wire. I don't know. The camera's not behaving. There we go. Very well. Come on. That'll do. Because the sun has in fact gone to bed, and I'm sort of working in my own shadow a little bit, but there's nothing I can do about that because I don't have a torch to shine it. So what I'm going to do first is obviously drill the holes, so I'll zoom in on that a little bit. There we go. So I'll try and do it so you can see. I'm going to put one hole there. Doesn't take much, and that's now gone through, so I'm going to do this side in roughly the same place. Now, I don't know if that has gone through because there is the joist in the way, so I'll have to have a look underneath. No, I don't think that has gone through. So, what I'm going to have to do is, yeah, right. What I'm going to have to do is sort of route the wire for the outer rail. Sorry, gonna have to do this a little bit in the way. Come on. Go on. Bloody hell, this pin doesn't want to come out. Sorry, I'll have to. God help us. What? Oh, there we go. Here we go. So basically I can, whether you can actually see, you can't because my arm's been in the way, I'm very sorry. But basically, come on camera. Thank you. Basically I'm going to have to lift the track a little bit. I'm going to have to lift this point a little bit. If I get my arm, you can see that it moves just enough to get the cable underneath to do this rail, which also means I'm going to have to, rather annoyingly, put a slightly bigger drill bit in to get the wire through, so I'll get that. Hang on a minute. There we go. I think this one should probably be okay. I expect all the experienced modelers are going, "Oh my God, no! What are you doing? Stop it!" But whatever. It's my layout, people. My layout, my rules. Right. So if I just pan the camera around a little bit, I'll have to swing the screen round. If I swing the camera round this way, there we go. You can see I've got a little bit of a control panel going on. I won't do a video on how to do this because it's stupendously easy, but what I will do when I do the bank switches for the point motors and stuff, I'll show you how to do that and also show you what this switch is going to do when I get round to doing that. I might end up doing that today. I don't really know, but I won't film it. What I'll do is I'll do it, I'll wire it, and then I'll show you how I did it. So I'll talk you through it. But obviously I've got the controller here. I've got this one here, which is for the main line, including the siding here. And then the other one is going to do the engine shed. Hopefully that won't interfere with any of the other main line. But I won't do that yet. I'll concentrate on getting the main line done first. So just pan the camera back. There we go. There it is. Sorry, you might see my head in a minute. Yeah, there I am. There we go. Trying to get it right. Okay, so obviously you're going to need some wire. Oh, I'm zoomed in still, aren't I? Sorry. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. So you're going to need wire. Might have enough. You're also going to need a soldering iron. This is a very simple one. It's an 18 watt 240 volt one. Probably the most simple and most basic one you could ever get. I've had it for a very long time. Sorry. And I honestly, I wouldn't want to get in. Where's the camera? There it is. Sorry. In the way. I'm the world's worst cameraman. I'm very sorry. I wouldn't want to replace it with anything else because I've been using the same soldering iron now for about what's it been? 4, 5, 6 years now. So I've got it. There it is. Clamped into my head to a little modelling vise because I don't have a stand for it anymore because that perished. Soldering is very easy, of course. This isn't a tutorial series. This is just showing you me building things, doing what I do. I do, however, need to find my Stanley knife. I don't know what I've done with the flipping thing. It's very good at hiding, this Stanley knife of mine. It's 10 out of 10 at hide and seek, believe me. I do not know where it has gone. I keep losing it. Every 5 minutes, whenever I put it down, it disappears. I think I'm going to have to try and manage without it. It should be fairly easy to do that. So, unravel some cable. Where am I going from? I'm going from here, and I'm going to there, so about that much. Yoink. So, yeah, I'll zoom out a little bit. Oh, is that it? Apparently so. Right, so, God, really miffed off I don't have my Stanley knife to hand. There we go. There we go. Should be enough to go up to the base. Whoops, through the baseboard. What I'm going to do first, which, yeah, whatever. It's not a tutorial. Get on with the fast forward. Okay, so there we go. That was easy, actually. Quite easy. So you can see there, whoops, are the wires. You can see the one diving underneath the track there and going up, and then the one there, and if we hop under, you can just about in the darkness see it going along and up to there. So that more or less concludes this particular video. I'm going to go away and do some tests and things, plug the layout in and run just run a loco around to start off with and test the loop and everything like that. And then I expect, again off camera, I'll do the shed over here. Not the shed, sorry, the yard. Do the loop so the shed can be controlled separately, and that should in theory be it. And of course I need to continue the storage loops at the back, but that'll be for another time. Definitely, that probably won't be tonight because I'm quite tired. So I just want to run a couple of engines round. That's all I want to do. So there will be an update coming shortly, maybe. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.